In the quiet English village of Narborough, life was simple until tragedy struck twice. On a cold November night in 1983, 15-year-old Linda Mann left her home to visit a friend. She never returned. The next morning, her body was found in a field near a path locals called the Black Pad. She had been raped and strangled. Fear gripped the small community, but without any leads or suspects, the case went cold. 3 years later, history repeated itself. In July 1986, another young woman, Dawn Ashworth, just 15 like Linda, was reported missing after failing to return from an errand. Her body was discovered 2 days later in eerily similar circumstances. She, too, had been raped and murdered. Panic spread through the village. Was there a serial killer on the loose? The police were under immense pressure to solve these horrifying crimes. But with no witnesses, no fingerprints, and no clear evidence, the investigation stalled. Then came a glimmer of hope. During their search for answers, investigators zeroed in on a man named Richard Buckland, who had learning disabilities. Under intense questioning, Richard confessed to killing Dawn Ashworth. But curiously, he denied involvement in Linda Mann's murder. Something about his confession didn't sit right with the detectives. They needed more concrete proof. Enter Dr. Alec Jeffries, a brilliant geneticist at the University of Leicester. Just months earlier, Dr. Jeffries had pioneered a groundbreaking technique called DNA fingerprinting, which could identify individuals based on unique patterns in their DNA. It was still experimental, but desperate times called for bold measures. The police asked Jeffries to compare biological samples collected from both crime scenes with Richard Buckland's DNA. What they discovered shocked everyone. Buckland's DNA did not match the semen found on either victim. For the first time in history, DNA evidence had proven someone innocent. Richard Buckland walked free, leaving the police back at square one, but now they had a powerful new tool in their arsenal. With no other leads, the police decided to take an unprecedented step. They launched the world's first ever mass DNA screening campaign, asking every man between the ages of 17 and 34 in the surrounding villages to provide a blood or saliva sample. Over 5,000 men complied, lining up in schools, churches, and community centers. Each sample was sent to Dr. Jeffries' lab for analysis. Weeks turned into months, and thousands of tests yielded nothing. No matches, no breakthroughs. The killer seemed to have slipped through the cracks. Frustration mounted among the police and the grieving families of Linda and Dawn. But fate has a way of intervening when you least expect it. One evening, in a smoky pub in a nearby town, a casual conversation changed everything. A man named Ian Kelly boasted to a group of friends that he'd made some easy money by pretending to be someone else during the DNA screening. He explained that his co-worker, Colin Pitchfork, had paid him £200 to give a sample in his place because Pitchfork was worried his DNA would link him to the murders. Word of this overheard chat eventually reached the police. Suspicious, they hauled Colin Pitchfork in for questioning. Pitchfork tried to deny everything, but when confronted with the possibility of testing his actual DNA, he cracked. His real sample was taken to Dr. Jeffries' lab. When the results came back, they confirmed what many had feared. Colin Pitchfork's DNA matched the semen found on both victims. After years of fear and uncertainty, the shadow over Narborough finally had a face. Cornered by irrefutable evidence, Colin Pitchfork confessed to both murders. He admitted that he had stalked Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth on separate occasions, luring them into secluded areas before attacking them. His chilling calmness during the confession sent shivers down the spines of even seasoned detectives. Pitchfork was arrested and charged with the murders of Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth. In January 1988, he stood trial at Leicester Crown Court. Facing overwhelming evidence, Pitchfork pleaded guilty to both counts of murder. The judge sentenced him to life imprisonment, ensuring that the man who had terrorized Narborough would never walk free again. The conviction of Colin Pitchfork marked a turning point in criminal investigations. This was the first time DNA evidence had been used to catch a murderer, and also the first time it had exonerated an innocent person. Richard Buckland, though deeply traumatized by his false confession, was spared a wrongful conviction thanks to science. For the families of Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, justice had finally been served. Their pain would never fully heal, but knowing that their daughter's killer had been caught brought a measure of closure. As for Dr. Alec Jeffries, his work on this case catapulted him to international fame. DNA fingerprinting became a cornerstone of forensic science, transforming how crimes are solved around the world. Today, national DNA databases exist in countless countries, helping to identify criminals, resolve decades-old cold cases, and free those wrongfully accused. Narborough is quieter now, its fields once again safe for children to roam. But the memory of Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth lives on, not only in the hearts of their loved ones, but also in the legacy of justice they helped create. Their tragic deaths gave rise to a revolutionary tool that continues to save lives and bring truth to light. And so, the story of Colin Pitchfork serves as both a cautionary tale and a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, science and determination can shine a light where shadows linger.